Hey, how's it going, everyone? My name is Kelvin Sparks, and this is a live special edition of the Crypto Beat from KBW with the founder of Goat Network, Kevin. Kevin, how's it going?
Oh, good. Very nice to meet you.
Yeah, likewise. So I know it was a long flight. You're coming from North America, just like myself. How was the trip over?
Well, it's I wish we can have a much faster, airplane.
Yeah,
in the
I
future.
agree. Yeah.
It's 15 hours.
Oh, yeah. It's tough. I mean, New York and Toronto are like right there. So coming halfway around the world is never easy. But all the same, very happy you made the trip out and very, very grateful for the time that we have today.
Thank you for having me, actually.
Yeah, anytime, man. So really, I guess one of the things I want to talk about is you guys are a Bitcoin ZK knowledge like L2.
Yeah.
Really, I want to start really with the ideology of Bitcoin. One of the guys who I thought first got me into crypto was Andres Antonopoulos.
Okay.
Profound, just blockchain enthusiast who started out, I guess, as a Bitcoin maxi, did some Ethereum stuff. And one of the things that I thought was really cool in his ideology that was actually very countercultural at the time was speaking about there's going to be chains for everything. Side chains are not going to be a dirty word. We're going to have rollups. We're going to have L2s, all these things. And I guess at the time, that was a very, very non-consensus ideology. Yet here we are today. So tell us a little bit about what you're working on.
Yeah, actually, that's a long history, with the Bitcoin scaling,
Yeah.
For Go Network, actually, what we are building is a layer really on top of Bitcoin to inherit the native security from Bitcoin, but also can bring more use case and usage to Bitcoin. So our philosophy here is that, we hope all the ecosystem partners, including miners, can benefit from layer 2. We're not going to take anything from the Bitcoin ecosystem, the Bitcoin hardcore. We hope to bring more usage, more transactions, more gas fee to the Bitcoin ecosystem, so everyone can benefit from it. So that's pretty much what Goat is aiming for. We hope to build a much more dynamic and prosperous, Bitcoin ecosystem under the help of Bitcoin layer 2.
Cool. Yeah. And what does the world look like where we are able to scale Bitcoin from your perspective?
Actually, we all understand that due to the limits of script, actually people cannot do too much on Bitcoin mainnet. But Bitcoin has such a large, token assets with such a large community consensus and decentralized, right? So it's a pity that we cannot use that assets. We cannot make yield or make more use cases on top of Bitcoin. So I think that's where this Bitcoin layer 2, should work for. In the past few years, we see different kind of solutions, scaling solutions, like OPCAT or kind of merge mining or something else. But I think now it's really coming to a very critical moment that the layer 2 technology is really can come to the reality, which we can really launch a layer called layer 2, because this word is not just two words over there.
Yeah.
It's a real tag behind. Yeah.
So it's interesting. I guess when you talk about the security piece, I was reading the GOAT research paper that you guys have on the website.
Thank you.
There's the BitVM, BitVM2, and then the GoatBitVM, if I read correctly.
Yeah.
Could you speak to a little bit of the differences across those three?
Yeah, actually BitVM2 is evolution version of BitVM, which make basically for BitVM, the goal here is that since a lot of computation needs to happen off-chain, if we want to scale Bitcoin, so this off-chain computation needs to get verified and get zero knowledge proof. But for this zero knowledge proof, if you only put this proof onto Bitcoin mainnet, but not verifying it, it doesn't, make the whole cycle complete. We still need to, construct an environment to verify that ZKP. So it make, a perfect loop that all the computation happened on layer 2 can be zero knowledge proved, and then this proof can be verified. So that's a real, ZK rollup. I think that's what BitVM is aiming for. But they also may face some challenger like the transaction was too large. If this is too large, it's hard and also it's very costly for you to put onto Bitcoin mainnet. So that's why BitVM 2 coming up. It hopes to normalize the proof size and make it a standard transaction. So all the miners can do the block production and the mining naturally. For Goat BitVM, we see there are still a lot of other challenges not solved by BitVM 2, especially like the capital efficiency on BitVM 2 was too slow. People need to wait for 14 days to get your money back. But I don't think that's gonna help the real use case. So what we're trying to do is we do a rotation, and there's some technique behind, so we can shorten the challenging period from 14 days to 1 day, which make the capital efficiency much more higher. So you can get your Bitcoin back faster.
Makes sense. I mean, who doesn't want their Bitcoin back faster? It's one of those things like I think I saw in the paper itself was based on trust minimized assumptions that you're making. So
Yes.
What are some of these trust assumptions that are making, and how do you ensure that they are basically as lean as possible? Because the more you add, the less people are going to want to engage because you kind of move further away from Bitcoin's security model. So
Yes.
curious how you guys are implementing this.
Yeah, Bitcoin, security is the whole thing behind all the construction. So that's the key value we hope to, preserve and hope to inherit. So for Go Network, the one of an assumption that's for now is something like there's so many nodes, operating on layer 2. As long as there's one honest node, running, and you can get your money back. So, and these nodes are open sourced. Anyone can be the node, which means if you have the money on layer 2, and you can also be the node. And I don't think you're gonna do, something bad for your own money, right?
Yeah.
So you can always get your money back. That's a very basic assumption that a lot of Bitcoin hardcore believers that, they believe if you hand over your key, that's not your Bitcoin anymore. For Go Network, what we try to build is that based on this one of an assumption, you can always put your money onto a layer 2, which you have your own control of your assets, and you can always get your money back anytime you want. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. And I think I saw that was also the same for challengers as well in the paper, correct?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all the nodes actually that's why I said in the beginning we call it rotate. We don't want to build an ecosystem or an economic model that we have so many different roles and we have to compensate everyone. So we combine all these roles into one. We call it super operator or just operator. This operator's role is dynamic. For this time, they might be sequencer. For next time, they might be challenger. So it adds another layer of security as well, because no one gonna know what's the role they're gonna play in the next round. So no one gonna do something, or prepare to do something. Yeah. And also this, there's some costs related to different kind of node operator. If you're a challenger, actually you need to pay in order to get the challenged, back.
Also, there's a cost associated with it to minimize that. It's also a network security principle, more or less.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes you're gonna earn money based on our, role rotation, setup. Sometimes you're gonna pay, sometimes you're gonna earn. So I think it makes the whole economic model more balanced and sustainable.
Yeah. It sounds like almost like what Silvio Macaulay did with Algorand, how you have the random rotating, really, really cool stuff. I'm not sure how similar they are, but definitely does come to mind as something that was implemented. One of the things I wanted to talk about was actually when building these trust assumptions and utilization of opcodes, what trade-offs do you have to make when you're designing a ZK-L2 for Bitcoin?
Yeah, I think that's the most magic part for ZK rollup, because for ZK rollup, what we're trying to achieve is that for Bitcoin mainnet transaction, every transaction should look similar to other transactions. There shouldn't be any, this super transaction or super block that you have to ask the miner to take care of, especially. So for ZK rollup, what we hope to achieve is that we have this ZK proof, and we make that ZK proof as small as possible, as live as possible, which means every block they produce at layer 2, they can be proved on ZK rollup layer very quickly, almost in real time. So you don't have to wait for a long time. So all this setup was to trying to achieve that this block gonna look similar to other block. Yeah. So I think that's the that's the magic part. Yeah.
Understood. And were there any lessons learned from previous rollups or white papers that you'd seen within the Bitcoin ecosystem that you said, oh, this is interesting, we can definitely improve upon this, or they're missing this, we can add this when we're building Goat Network?
For this one, actually, for ZK rollup, there I recall like 3 projects, including Go Network, pioneering in this space. One is Citria, another one is Open Labs, and then Go Network. Actually, what we are doing now is something that no one did before. So although we can learn something from the basic ZK ZKP perspective, but for the BitVM to all all this ZK rollup space is purely innovative. So we are expanding the boundary for this one. Back to your question, I think if we want to say what we want to learn from this space, actually we learn from Ethereum rollup. We built another project. I'm also the co-founder of Metis, the Ethereum layer 2. We were the first one to launch the Optimism rollup, first batch actually, together with Arbitrum and Optimism. And that was a very good timing because people saw a lot of different solutions as well at that time, like sidechain, I forgot, the Plasma or something else, different kind of scaling solution for Ethereum. But only Optimism rollup shows up when people found that, hey, this is so easy to apply and so scalable and so secure. It can inherit the native security from Ethereum mainnet. So, and then we see the prosperous of Ethereum layer 2. I think and I personally feel like the Bitcoin layer 2 space is pretty similar momentum. The ZK rollup with BitVM 2, with all these solution just came to mature enough that we can safely say we can have this kind of ZK rollup on Bitcoin. And I hope this is the start of Bitcoin layer 2.
Well said, well said. Now on to the fun part. We'll move a little further up the stack from the protocol now to the application, which is the yield. People always want to know, are they the yield? Where's the yield coming from? How does the mechanism work?
There was always a saying that if you don't know where the yield from, you're the yield, right? So that's also one of the biggest concern when we talk to different BTC holders, like big and small. They all ask this question. So for us, I have to come back a little bit to our tech infra, because I think one of other very unique perspective of Go Network is that we started from decentralizing our sequencer nodes. So we're decentralized from day one. Which means I'm not sure if sequencer nodes are the one to produce block and to make the order of the blocks, and also they can make MEV. Literally, they are the owner of the network. If the project itself is controlling the whole network, you cannot call itself decentralized. But you are building on top of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is decentralized. If layer 2 is not decentralized, this doesn't make sense, right?
Agreed.
So for us, we started from decentralizing our sequencer node from day one, which means we are only one party running the whole sequencer nodes. There are for now 5-6 other parties running it, and for you to produce the next block, let's say you're a signature node operator, for you to produce the next block, you need people to stake Bitcoin into your signature node to increase the weight for you to have the chance to produce. So the more BTC locked in your signature node, the high chance you can produce the next block. So that creates a very unique and very interesting economic model where these signature nodes can compete with each other to provide better APY for its stakeholders and also to provide better performance for its signature node. Otherwise, they cannot produce the next block, which means they cannot earn the gas fee from the block production. So that's actually where the yield comes from. Because every block you produced, let's say sequencer A produced this block, and the gas fee in this block will be earned by sequencer A. And sequencer A will share the revenue with its stakeholders. Based on our calculation, let's say if we have 2,000 Bitcoin locked or staked into our signature nodes, and our on-chain transactions, there are a lot of transactions. We have like 2 TPS, which means 2 transactions per second. We can guarantee a APY of 4.7%, and it's paid in Bitcoin.
Wow.
Because on Go Network, the gas fee is paid in Bitcoin.
I mean, who doesn't want more Bitcoin? That sounds pretty, very cool.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I was curious about then is the sustainability, which you guys also emphasize via this paper, is when you see crazy APYs, you say, well, this is too good to be true. There's no way I'm going to get this much APY. And so can you talk a bit about the balance between slashing risk as well as having really, really juicy APYs?
Yeah. I think this question comes from 2 perspectives. First, for the APY side, it looks juicy, but it's hard. It's pretty hard because we need to develop the whole ecosystem. We need to have a lot of transactions, a lot of users to generate the transactions and then to earn the revenue. So that's where all the team is working on, and we have pretty much 50 applications launching our ecosystem already, and we see a lot of more coming. So that's I'm pretty confident with, and of course with that profit you need to bear some kind of risk as well. The risk is that, as you mentioned, slashable, right? But I think slashable is good in this perspective. Because if this Bitcoin in the signature node, staking in the signature node cannot be slashed, which means this signature node is going to do anything they want. Maybe they just, produce some, let's say, bad block or, double spend.
They have no incentive to do otherwise.
Yes, and then take it away. This harm for the whole network and harm for the long-term, sustainability. So but actually, I don't think this slash can happen, given the, punishment effect that all these node operators, they need to stake themselves as well.
Oh, nobody likes losing Bitcoin.
Yeah, no one gonna like it. So I think that's a very good mechanism to deter any bad actors. So, but again, this slashable is very much needed in the whole economic design. Otherwise, it won't work.
Absolutely. Yeah, very well said. And I guess that kind of leads me to a question that just came to my mind, like how much does it cost to then spin up a node within the network? Yeah,
basically for now, it's very low in cost to set up. We only require like 0.5 Bitcoin to start. And also, of course, some new, our GoatBit, this token, ecosystem token. But basically, we leave this open to the market, because if you only have 0.5 Bitcoin staked in the signature node, you might not be able to produce any block.
Understood. So it's a low barrier to entry, but it's still hard to win the game. Very similar like Bitcoin. If you want to run a GPU, or maybe that was a previous era, like ASICs now, you can buy one ASIC and run for sure in your home, but your chances of winning, it does happen though, sometimes, but very, very low probability.
Very low. Yes.
Interesting. Okay. Now, I guess one of the things I want to move around is yield on Bitcoin is a very, very popular meta these days. I mean, you see it with all these digital asset treasuries. You've been seeing with crypto native projects. I kind of want to know why Goat is differentiated. If you could use like maybe like a public company example, like a MicroStrategy, because I don't think they're paying that high and it's not in kind. And then things like Starkware as well. It'd be cool to see how you guys are different.
You know, for these DAT companies, especially for strategy, I don't think they have any yield strategy, right?
Yeah.
At least for now.
Yeah, no, they're just paying out in cash to people who want exposure to Bitcoin.
Yeah,
So they
yeah.
believe, but they're actually getting Bitcoin in kind.
Yeah.
Oh.
For us, we see this. There's gonna be a huge use case coming from these DAT companies, which I don't believe they just hold all this Bitcoin or other assets in their treasury and do nothing. That doesn't make any sense. It's opportunity cost for them, right? So for all these DAT companies and large BTC custodian companies, they will need to find a native Bitcoin scaling solution to have some kind of yield back to them. This kind of yield, when we interview all these companies, they prefer Bitcoin native. Actually, they don't like any other, shitcoin,
Yeah.
They might get it, for, let's say $100 today, but maybe $1 tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it's not guaranteed, right? For Bitcoin native yield, it's how much it is there, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's a very unique demand and very hard demand from them. I think that's where we are different. We provide native Bitcoin yield based on the whole ecosystem, activities. It's more like we have an economy. There are so many business doing and doing transactions in it, and we charge tax, and then we pay this tax back to our liquidity providers or stakers. Yeah, I think that's one differentiator of us from like DAT companies. And for Starkware, I understand they are also looking for expanding into Bitcoin scaling solutions, and they have their unique solutions. Actually, our tech team already worked with them. We hope to find a way to merge these two together, but it's pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. For us, I still see the simplest way gonna win in the long run. For OP, for ZK rollup, it is the simplest way. You don't need to change the core.
Understood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm following. And one of the things I was curious about was bringing back Opcat. Satoshi removed it originally because there was a vulnerability, but a lot has changed in the evolution of Bitcoin since then. Why Opcat? Why now?
I think for this one, we only follow what the industry or what this community gonna do.
Yeah.
Again, back to my point, we literally don't need too much change in the OPCAT part. Yeah, but of course, if they make it more open, we're gonna benefit from it. Yeah. But based on the current standard, we're okay actually. That's why we emphasize very much ZK rollup should make every transaction similar to other transactions. You don't have to, especially handle some big data or some permissions that not allowed before. Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood. And you spoke a little bit on community. I'm kind of curious because we haven't discussed yet. Who's in the Goat network community? What's like the persona? Who would want to use Goat versus other, I don't know, maybe just holding Bitcoin? What is the Goat? Who are these people in the community? Yeah.
We can say from different categories.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like for the liquidity providers, we have met many DAT companies, large treasuries, even sovereign country. They have their BTC treasury. They hope to generate yield. So that's one part of the community which they hope to provide liquidity into the ecosystem and then earn some kind of yield. And also there's some small Bitcoin holders, like they already either put their Bitcoin into different ecosystem already. Like they have WBTC or CBBTC or even BTCB, and they want to jump into new opportunities to have more Bitcoin earned. Yeah, that's another kind of we can call like traders or some DeFi native people. That's also one of our community members. And also we did some, Yapper campaign before. So there are community members from, let's say, here in South Korea, and also Vietnam, China, and also some European countries that, they help to promote our brand awareness and also the use case, the technology. They are also one of the community members, and they're also actively contributing to the network transactions, because everyone they want to create some unique content, and they need to try it for themselves before.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's positive sum. If people contribute, the more people contribute, you have those kind of network effects.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Also, we have a very interesting category, which are some, gamblers or gamers.
Really?
They want to win big. We have some apps already, launching on Go Network. You can, put a small, a small amount of Bitcoin and then earn some, earn the lottery, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very easy to play. And Goat Rocket, sorry. Goat Rocket.
Goat working?
Goat Rocket.
Goat Rocket.
Goat Rocket.
Yes.
There's a lot of transactions happen in these applications because we see people, especially from Southeast Asia, people like to, to play this kind of games. But basically, what we hope to offer to all these personnel is that we understand different people have different risk profile. Someone like, risk, but someone don't.
Yeah.
So for DAT companies, for treasuries, they don't like any risk at all. So we have, product called Safe Box, which they just need to lock their Bitcoin in their own wallet for 3 months, and it's like the fixed term deposit in traditional bank, and you can have a very low yield, but also a BTC native yield. And this Bitcoin locked will be mirrored to our ecosystem to provide liquidity and earn the yield return back.
It's then able to juice up yields for other people who want a bit more higher risk.
Yes,
Understood.
yes, exactly. Yeah. So that's one, like for low risk. And then if you, want to earn some kind of higher, you can bridge into Go Network and to stake and to do Borderland, this kind of 6 to 7% APY as of now.
Wow.
Yeah. And also there's some crazy one. You can, do, staking and then Borderland and then stake again and then Borderland.
Oh, looping.
Looping, yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And now
That's
I saw someone doing that. It's like 200%. 200%. Yeah. But, this won't last long. But
Understood. Yes.
Yeah. It's very interesting. It's bears with different risk.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's for like the degen experts. I don't know if I want to go down that rabbit hole, because I think I would cry if I lost my Bitcoin. But one of the things you touched on, I think early in the conversation, before I guess we wrap up, was a token. Anything you want to share there? You don't have to if you don't want to. No worries.
Yes, the TG actually is coming very soon. Yeah, and for this token, every ecosystem need one. It's not only for the ecosystem, like incentives. I think it's more related to our security assumption. Go Network is a layer on top of Bitcoin. We have to secure the network itself as well. Since it's a deposit one, we need this native token, to people or this signature node need to stake GoatBitVM token to secure the network. And I think that's the very basic, utility of this.
Understood.
Yeah, of this token. But beyond that, people can also, stake this token into the signature node to earn, our, boosted yield. That's another kind of utility. But basically, I think people are quite excited with this launch, as this construction actually took like 2.5 years. It's a really long journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like an eternity in crypto.
Yeah. Yes.
Shout out to you for sticking it out. That's a very, very tough uphill battle. So I can imagine ebbs and flows, especially with the market volatility.
Yes, it's very challenging actually. I don't think we only fight for the technical breakthrough. We also need to fight for some misconception of this space. People kind of thought that Bitcoin Layer 2 are almost doomed over already because there are no success story in the beginning. And but for us, as I shared, I think this is only the beginning because in the past there are literally no technical solution mature enough to secure a network, to inherit the security from Bitcoin, and can really scale Bitcoin like Bitcoin mainnet doesn't need to do anything before. So I think that's the huge challenge. Every time when I do the interview or the speech, I always open like that. I hope everyone can understand this is real time that we bring the ZK rollup to the ground.
Yeah.
Although people like narrative, a lot of people like to talk, right?
Yeah.
So people are excited about narrative, but when we really landed and launched, it's so much work.
Yeah.
It's so much work, and people have already lost their patience.
Oh, it happens. Sometimes certain parts of the community are never going to be happy no matter what you do. You could promise them the moon tomorrow, they'd want it 2 days ago. So it happens.
Yeah.
Regardless, last question. Any predictions for the future of Bitcoin or crypto before we wrap up?
I would say for Bitcoin, we see, from follow your question, there's a real demand for Bitcoin Layer 2. If we want to, sustain at a high price level, the basic, security assumption cannot be changed or cannot be weakened. But based on this, halving, mechanism, the incentive for all these miners gonna be reduced, eventually, right?
Yeah.
They need a healthy revenue stream, not only the mining rewards, but also coming from the transaction revenues. And this is where Bitcoin Layer 2 can really benefit them. We hope a lot of use cases built on top of Layer 2, a lot of users coming to the Bitcoin Layer 2 ecosystem. So all the transaction will be settled back to Bitcoin mainnet. And these miners can get all these rewards as well. I saw the data that the transaction gas fee only occupies like 1 or 2% for now.
Yeah.
In the peak time of that, NFT ordinals,
Yeah. Ordinals and rooms.
it occupies 75%.
Really?
Yes, the revenue, come
Wow.
from the transaction is proving. So a lot of more transaction can benefit the whole Bitcoin ecosystem. And although I don't think we can reach 70%, maybe let's target like 20% of the Bitcoin miners' revenue.
It's a large stake though.
Yeah.
It's a lot of revenue.
Yeah, can come from the Bitcoin Layer 2's transactions. So the prediction here is that I really hope to see a very prosperous Bitcoin Layer 2s, not only us, a lot more. I hope they can come as well, so we can bring more transactions, more users to Bitcoin ecosystem, and everyone wins.
Understood. I guess it's a great place to end it. Thank you for your time, Kevin.
Thank you very much.